Integral to Lotus Cup Europe are series organisers Motorsport Vision Racing, who run not only 4 of the finest UK circuits, but manage a portfolio of around 40 events. MSVR have been involved in the sister series Lotus Elise Trophy since its inception in 2007, and I caught up with David Willey earlier on to find out a bit more. David, MSVR have been looking after the Lotus Elise Trophy and Lotus Cup Europe since they began.
That's right. The first Lotus Elise Trophy race was here in Brands Hatch, March 2007. A very cold and wet weekend, but we had a full grid of cars, and obviously that has continued to this present day. And then in 2009, last year, Paul Golding started up and the rejuvenated Lotus Cup Europe, which is backed by Group Lotus, and MSVR are also the organising club of that series also. And we organise domestic rounds for that series, and then Paul organised all the European ones.
And you've got quite a large team of people supporting you.
That's right, yeah. Full-time staff at MSVR include David Scott, our race operations manager, Gemma Mole, our competition secretary. She acts as secretary of the meeting at the meetings. And then we've got a tremendous group of volunteers. To mention a few, Penny Mount, she's assistant secretary of the meeting. Anita Williams, she's an up-and-coming clerk of the course, just obtained our NatB licence this year. And you know, we've got a great further group of personnel who give up their time and are fully committed to the MSVR events.
And of course your marshals. That's
right, exactly. Tremendous team of marshals for every circuit we go to, and as ever, we're truly honoured to have their time and support.
And in terms of your involvement with Lotus, I guess that will continue to grow over the years, will it?
Exactly. We're already sitting down with Paul Golding at the moment to look at calendars for 2011, and our aim is to continue to provide a good service and exciting racing for the competitors and volunteer officials.
Will we see you out there again ever?
Let's hope so. 2008 was my last race for the Elise Trophy, and I got a third place, albeit a handicap race, but I won't let that dent my confidence. But yeah, I mean, if anyone would like to give me another drive, they've got my email address, so please let me know.
It's time now for race 2, a 30-minute race from a rolling start, and the drivers really need to keep close together on the green flag lap to ensure the best possible start. Let's join our commentator now.
Well, the planned 30-minute duration unfortunately cut by 10 minutes to 20-minute race following a sizable accident in one of the other races here at Brands Hatch today. It's Romain Rotaro who takes pole position with Scott Cruikshank alongside him. Steve Williams lines up third, and we can expect to see him going well. John Rass, who won the Exige class in race 1, lines up 15th, although he's got a lot of work to do to race up the order. Marcus Jewell and Stuart Plotnick head up the production class runners. Jonathan Mobbs, will he continue his spirited driving? And Steve Quick in 23rd place will be looking to make amends for a disastrous first race of the day. This 40-car field rounded out by Jose Vazlat and Michael Corridon, a full grid as ever from the Lotus Cup Europe, and some great racing almost certainly in store. Well, the field lining up side by side. The pace car's pulled in. It's a rolling start, so it's Rotaro in the red and blue car in pole position. The all-red machine is Scott Cruikshank alongside him to the right of the screen. Steve Williams is in the yellow machine, the inside of Rotaro. Away they go as the field bunching up as they plunge on towards Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Williams looks to the inside of Cruikshank, who in turn was looking to the outside of Rotaro. Everybody else fanning out. It's Christophe Desandre running wide in the black and orange machine, so he loses a glut of positions. Tom Chataway dropping down the order, and Chataway making his way safely through Druids in pursuit of Simon Deacon, although already ahead of the field, Romain Rotaro beginning to build up a reasonably healthy advantage over Scott Cruikshank, Steve Williams, then Simon Deacon, Tom Chataway, Christophe Desandre, Mark Gooday and Pete Story. The Lotus 211s very much to the fore this weekend on the Brands Hatch Grand Prix loop. Rotaro leads through Cersei, running a little bit wide there is Scott Cruikshank, as looks as if it's Gregory Rass who is currently heading up the Exige class battle as they make their way down Pilgrim's Drop. As we go side by side, second, and in fact in second position has gone Steve Williams, so Williams goes into second place as Christophe Desandre looks to the inside of Tom Chataway. Has he made that move stick? No, not quite. Chataway holding on around the outside of Mark Gooday as well, scything to the inside of Desandre. Desandre very tight, so they went through Hawthorns, losing a couple of positions as a result. So Romain Rotaro looking to do the double this weekend at Brands Hatch. Everybody else running very closely together, which is pretty much what we've come to expect from the Lotus Cup Europe, as we've got Pete Story being chased down by John Rass. And it's Steve Williams just ahead of Scott Cruikshank. And Cruikshank there in third place, right on his tail. Dust being picked up by the runners throughout the field, as there we've got Vital Chahoun. He's chasing down James Proctor, also Russell Hill very much in the mix as well. Proctor, who was very engaging in race 1, there ahead of a long train already in race 2 as we come through to complete the lap. And now Steve Williams beginning to try and build that advantage out over Scott Cruikshank as they go through Paddock Hill Bend. Then we've got Simon Deacon in 4th place, pressurising Cruikshank as best he can. Then Tom Chataway a little bit lonely in 5th moment with Christophe Lezondre and Mark Gooday racing away. Deacon looks to the inside of Cruikshank. They make a little bit of contact as Chataway goes off into the rail trap. But yes, you can see that Simon Deacon's just sustained some bodywork damage. He made the slightest of contacts with Scott Cruikshank. And, well, they should both be able to continue in the race. But slight damage as Vital Chahoun looks to the inside with James Proctor. Will he make that move stick? Yes, he does. Nicely done by Vital Chahoun, as he then builds up quite a healthy advantage on the exit of Druids as the rest of them make their way down towards Graham Hill Bend. Mark Yates it is in the 37 car, who's very much in the mix as well, as is Dan Plant. Meanwhile, Romain Rotaro is being passed there for the race lead by Steve Williams. Williams going to the inside of Rotaro as they go through Hawthorns. Well, Rotaro not having any of that, he swoops around the outside, and that also enables Simon Deacon to say, thank you very much, I'll take 2nd place, which is exactly what he does as they go into Westfield. So it's now Rotaro from Deacon, then Williams, and Scott Cruikshank still there or thereabouts. Steve Williams making his way through Sheen Curve right in the middle of that train of cars. Now I just wonder if Romain Rotaro has got a slight problem, because we saw in the first race he got some really quite formidable pace in relation to the rest of the field. However, this time around they're running very closely together as Simon Deacon looks to the inside of the Frenchman and goes through and takes the lead going through Clark Curve. So Simon Deacon takes the lead momentarily, because immediately Rotaro fights back. They go 3 abreast along Bram Straight as Rotaro nudges Deacon to the outside. Williams moves to the inside, he takes the race lead. Simon Deacon goes through around the outside as well. So Romain Rotaro, well, whether he's just not quite got the pace this time around, or whether he's got mechanical failure, I don't know, but he is being passed as well by Scott Cruikshank. So Rotaro all out of sorts in the early stage of this 2nd race of round 4 of the 2010 Lotus Cup Europe. Steve Williams in the lead with a very assertive looking Simon Deacon right in his tail, and in fact Deacon's got the inside runs. They head towards Surtees. Now will Deacon try and force the manoeuvre? Surtees is where it often goes very wrong if you brake a little bit too late up the inside. Deacon decides discretion the better part of valour, jumps on the brakes nice and early as Mark Yates is buried in the gravel trap. Will he be pushed out there by the marshals at Stirling's? Yes, he will. So Mark Yates back into the fray, but some way down the order. So we've got the leading 5 cars running more or less line astern. There's Rotaro in 6th place now, having slipped behind Mark Gooday. So very close ahead of the field. Also well up is Christophe Lezondre in 3rd place. So Lezondre, who won the 2nd race at Magny-Cours, round 3 the 2010 season, always seems to go well in the 2nd race of the weekend. It always gives him his best result. He finished on the podium as well at Snetterton, the 2nd race of the weekend, and here he is in the podium position once more at Brands Hatch as he closes in on Simon Deacon as they head on towards Clearways. We'll bring them towards the end of another lap, as yes, Lezondre really asking all the right questions of Simon Deacon, looking to the outside, showing himself in his mirrors, as further back it goes, very sideways indeed for number 20, and he's going to do well to get away with that. Gregor Zechka, as everybody scatters in avoidance, and James Proctor scatters too much in avoidance into the barrier as he goes, and so, well, not really James Proctor's fault at all, but that puts him out of the race. It's Gregor Zechka's spin, and Zechka did very well, A, not to hit anything, and B, not to be hit by anybody, but unfortunately James Proctor, taking avoiding action, plants himself in the barriers and is emphatically out of proceedings. Steve Williams now beginning to pull away at the head of the field, helped no end by the fact that Simon Deacon and Christophe Lezondre are busy fighting amongst themselves. Still Deacon who's got the advantage. Lezondre a little bit further back. We get a grandstand view of that battle in car with Mark Gooday as he closes in on Scott Cruikshank. You can see the slipstream effect as he swoops past Scott Cruikshank. So he goes past Cruikshank as Lezondre looks to the inside as Deacon, the bodywork rubbing on Deacon's front left tyre as Christophe Lezondre moves up into 2nd position. Now can Simon Deacon fight back? He hopes that Lezondre will run wide going through Hawthorns. That's more or less is what he's done. But I'm not sure there's enough room through Westfield for the pair of them like that. No, there isn't. So as a result, it's still in second place. The Sondra has got Simon Deacon right on his tail, and now Mark Gooday very much joined the fray. So it's Scott Cruikshank at the rear of that particular group as they make their way on towards Stirling's. Cruikshank looks to the inside of Mark Gooday, no way through there, as well Gooday swooped around the outside, and Cruikshank was very much committed to the inside. There's, oh no, hand in the air from Roman Rotaro. So Rotaro, well, that's not a thumbs up that we saw from race one. He is out of the race. Disaster for the Frenchman. We go in car with Mark Gooday as he looks to the outside of Simon Deacon. They go into Paddock Hill Bend. The bodywork from Deacon's machine finally parts company with the rest of the car, so that might actually help him in the long term, as through and into third place goes Mark Gooday. Well, James Proctor has recovered as far as the pits, and is a significantly foreshortened Elise, so he is out of the race. As we've got a good battle here in the Exige Cup, it's just Gregory Rask holding off his brother John. So it was John who took race one on. It's Gregory Rask at the moment who's leading the way in race two, as they are trying to chase down the recovering Tom Chataway. So that's the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th places as they make their way on towards Surtees, out onto the Grand Prix loop. Already the battle for second place is emerging down Pilgrim's Drop on towards Hawthorns. They shoot through, shot order unchanged. Well, about this Exige Cup battle, well, certainly this time John Rass is beginning to close in on Gregory. I'm just not sure he's quite close enough for manoeuvre at the moment. Gregory in the all-white machine, John Rass in the bright orange 142 as they make their way into Westfield, and that gap is definitely coming down a little bit as Christophe Lesandre not really making any inroads into Steve Williams, and Lesandre now being caught by Mark Gooday. Simon Deacon still very much in attendance, although Scott Cruikshank is now just beginning to drop away from that battle ever so slightly. Well, that's a drive-through penalty for Scott Cruikshank, so Cruikshank will be very much out of the battle at the head of the field as BJ Chong and Olivier Agri battle away. It's just the Frenchman holding off BJ Chong as they make their way into Stirling's. We will go for a break.